We're going to continue on with the capabilities of UnitsPro in the main system. Last video we showed you the capabilities within the mobile app, but if you're in the office and you have access to the desktop version, there's many more capabilities that are available in the main system. And let's just go through this briefly. So in the mobile app, we talked initially about job design. We had this lump sum test job. Let's hop into that. Open up our design module. And these are the locations that we've previously included. We could add locations, we can delete locations, we can copy locations. We can add new units and delete units here. We can see what our estimate is. We can see the details of those estimates on a unit basis. We can factor our units because, again, this is a lump sum job, so we're using these reference units to come up with our initial bid. Now we're going to go through and factor this based on difficulty levels and conditions and such. So there's many factors available. Global factors the entire job. We have pricing factors that only factor prices. If you're going to have, say, a rate increase that you need to accommodate in this job. We have work week factors. These units pricing in the system are based on a standard 40-hour work week. If you need to work 50s or 60s, we have a factor that accommodates for that. So many things that can be adjusted to get your bid price where you want it to be. We can also factor our locations. So if only an individual 1 or 2 or 3 locations are problematic, we can factor those. We can also add factors at an individual unit level at an individual location if indeed that is something that is important and needed. Most of our customers don't use that except for ones that have to do certain outages on premium time, and they'll factor those units specifically. Again, on a lump sum job, we can get in here and the system will calculate the average labor, equipment, material prices, across this, so you can see all your details. And then on a business decision basis, we can go ahead and adjust these to a price that we want to submit on a unit basis. And then all this information rolls up to a phase level or a schedule of values, if you will. So if you're billing on a schedule of value basis, which is common, you have this information. If it's an REA type job where you have a lump sum amount, but you need to bill based on units, you have your specifics here. So many more capabilities, many reports, but we'll leave that to a demonstration with your organization specifically. Give us a call and we'll gladly take you through all the capabilities of UnitsPro. We're going to go into an active job now. So the next thing we did in the mobile app was we completed work. Well, we can do the same thing in the main app. Here's that sample job that we're using in the mobile app. We'll go into our complete work module. And down the black locations have sorted to the bottom because they've been completed. The blue locations have not yet been fully completed, although some of the units may have been completed. This is our completion date up here. So if we want to complete a unit, there you go. If we want to complete it at an alternate quantity, we have the ability to do so down here. We're going to do 2 instead of the 1. Complete it. It's turned blue. We know that a change order is in the works. We see our change order information down here. And here it is put on change order 3 and it's pending. Our design quantity is 1. Our new quantity is 2. Completed quantity is 2. That means our change order quantity is 1. So all the information you need. We have an entire change order module and change order reports that, again, we would go through in a full demonstration. But let's get cracking here because we want to look at what the timesheet review in the main app looked like as opposed to the mini system. So we're going to go into this approved time. We're working with Casey here. So we'll go into his approved timesheet and we'll see what we have here. So this is loading every one of those days. If you remember in the app, we only loaded one day at a time because of real estate constraints and calculating capability on that little tablet you've got. But here we have every day listed. And so we can go through and see what's up here. So they didn't work on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They didn't work on the 4th of July, but they did work these other 3 days. So we can take a look at Thursday and we can drill in and see. And if this hadn't already been approved, there would be an approve button over here. You can see this is approved. We can reopen it if corrections need to be made. And the reopen is available until this data has been batched to payroll. At that point, we've got some other ways to go make corrections, but the intent here is get it right before you batch it in payroll and send it to your payroll system. So most people find that this is a lot slicker way to review and approve time, but again, the mobile app does the deal too. The next thing we did was add a job in the main system, so we'll do that here also. These are our contracts. We're going to add a job to, say, that contract. We come in, we put in our job number, we put in the owner's job number, we put in our description, we go next. The contract defaults in information, we validate it. It defaults in phase code information. We finish. And this job is ready to begin. It's in a pending start condition and it's all set up. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this so I don't have this remnant around. But that's how quick it is to add a job. Now that was a T&E job. Units jobs, once added, then we would go into that design module and design. Timesheets, for your personal time entry we talked about on the app, we can do that in this system as well, but it's 50-50. It's basically the same transaction. So what we want to look at though is some added capabilities specifically around billing. So you can see on the dashboard, the color coding is very important. Once you complete a unit in UnitsPro, whether it be a units job or a lump sum job, you've earned that money. UnitsPro is a earned based system. So here is earned revenue on this job that hasn't been billed. So the red means it's not on a bill at all. Once it's been put on a bill and that bill is in a pending status, i.e. it's undergoing internal reviews and processing, it goes from red to green. And then once it's been put onto the bill, then it will go over to the black here to indicate what's actually been billed, and over here you can see if that money is still outstanding or if it's been paid. So just a really quick summary, and we want to go deal with a couple of these jobs that need to be billed. So we're going to go in our jobs, go take a look at our active jobs. I like to use these filters. We're going to take a look at T&E jobs that are under invoiced. So all of these need to be billed. And if we come down here and look at this 86 job that we're working with in the mobile app, we can go into invoice our job. And here is a history of all of our invoices. We're going to go add a new invoice. And it comes in and it says, hey, today is 7/10. So it's going to go fetch in the system all T&E records that have been submitted and approved but have not been previously billed. It does the same thing with equipment. And down here for this customer, we've got a special feature where they're not allowed under this contract to bill overtime without specific approval. So what our system does is it takes that overtime, rolls it to straight time for billing purposes. And then we have, again, custom reports. There are several custom reports that are all formatted exactly for that owner. Here's your equipment. We can add categories. We can add expenses, miscellaneous material invoices, anything that is billable, we can go ahead and get in here. We can add line items. If you're going through and reviewing this and say, hey, wait a minute, how come I'm missing a dump truck here? Well, I can go ahead and add that dump truck. So I don't have to go all the way back through the time entry process, as some systems would have you do, and push it all the way through. I just go in here, add it. You can make my modifications as I need to what's billable. And for a T&E job, hey, give me 30 seconds and we have that bill ready to go out the door. Let's go take a look at another contract. Let's take a look at a units job. Go back to our active, and this time we want to take a look at a units job. Here's that sample units job that we're demonstrating with. Let's go and take a look at that. Go into our invoice. Never been billed before. Let's add an invoice. We want to invoice through 7/10. We can modify this here, but we're just going to go ahead and update our invoice. So again, what it's doing is it's going out and it's fetching all of the completed units that have not been previously billed, that were completed on or prior to that date. And if it's associated with a change order, does it have an approved change order with it? So here we go. And here's our billing amount and all of our details. We have numerous reports. So again, we can quickly get a bill out the door and track it. And if we take this one here and put it in a ready to submit status, that means that, hey, billing person, I've done my job. I've got it ready to submit, but I'm waiting for somebody else to validate something for me. I can put it back depending if I need to make modifications, or I can actually submit it. And so at that point, let's close this and close this master invoice transaction. So it's opening up our dashboard. And we'll go to our jobs here, and let's see if we can find this sample job. You can see there it is in a build status now. So many more capabilities within UnitsPro. A great number of reports, production reports, work down reports, forecast, accruals reports, whatever you're really looking for. I think we pretty much got it nailed. We interface well with your internal accounting systems. If it's SQL or Oracle based, we can tie right into it and push and pull data back and forth as your organization is comfortable with. So, hey, give us a call. We're interested in giving you a personalized demonstration, coming and visiting with you, and we really look forward to that call. Thanks so much.